There's actually some debate among philosophers as to whether something like that would be or would not be relevant. But work in philosophy is generally a priori, and that means that the evidence is independent of experience in a certain sense. But on the other hand, I mean, I wrote a long paper about this back in the 1980s, having to do with whether it's possible to do philosophy of language a priori, that is, just by thinking, the way a mathematician does mathematics a priori, without needing a lab, without needing to do any empirical research. So most philosophers' work is like that. It's based on various things, and generally just based on hard thought about very hard problems that don't have any scientific solution. That's the kind of problem they are. You can think of them as conceptual problems, and if they're conceptual problems, then it's a matter of understanding the concepts that give rise to the problems and trying to determine what the right solution would be. And philosophy of language is quite similar to that, but it has an empirical dimension that other aspects of philosophy don't have. So a lot of what I do is similar to what linguists do. A lot of what linguists do is dependent upon their own intuitions about what forms of sentence are grammatical and which ones are not, for instance. So whole theories of the grammar of natural language have been constructed, or partly constructed, by linguists, and they don't, in general, do surveys. It's an empirical science, but the basis of it seems to be intuition about the meanings of words. And you can have intuitions about what words mean by just consulting what you think they mean, how you use them, and you look inside your head and construct examples and ask yourself, well, what would you say about these examples? And you test your theories by testing them against lots and lots of examples, lots and lots of cases, and construct general views which, if true, would explain why you have those intuitions. So it's not completely unscientific. It's in a way it's rigorous because you're explaining what must be meant by these words, given that you have these intuitions about all these cases. And of course, intuitions can, in principle, sometimes be mistaken, but it's really the only basis, in my opinion, for doing philosophy.